So when you meditate long enough, you have to start understanding there are changes happening that I'm not seeing, that I'm not understanding. When I'm meditating and I'm listening to silence, the mind that needs to measure everything and get all these stupid small results gets to relax, and you start to open up in that so many things are happening, but you don't know all the specifics. And you start to move in this grayer area where you're okay with not knowing, so you make room for all kinds of other things to happen. I thought we would have a meditation discussion and then we would do a little guided meditation tonight. I am doing it quite a bit. I did a couple hours last night. I did probably an hour this morning. I would say I'm averaging about 3 hours, give or take 4 hours a day. I'm meditating about 3 hours or so. And meditation for me, and by the way, don't add that pressure to yourself. Like, I'm just choosing to do that, but don't hear that. So if I do 1 hour, it's nothing. Or if I do 10 minutes, it's nothing. Like, 1 minute is also great. And I love to do it. I love to just be offline and just be here and sit and listen. And a lot of people ask me, how do you meditate? I like to just be here. I like to just feel. I like to just not do anything. Because who's the doer in the situation? Who's the part of us that wants to do it the right way? Who's the us that's doing something, right? So when I meditate, I'm just listening. And I notice all these different patterns come up. I know all these different feelings come up. I just feel this part of me that comes up and it feels scared, or a part of me that feels lost, or a part of me that feels ambitious, or a part of me that's stuck in something or scared and thinks that something bad could happen. And I just sit there and stay there. And there isn't anything that comes up that doesn't pass. Everything that comes up passes. And part of the power of meditation is that you start to see more of you, right? When I'm meditating, I notice that I get to see things in my body that I usually can't see, right? So there's an action that's got to do something about something. Well, under it could be a pain. You might feel this part of you that goes, if I don't, then this won't be seen. And you aren't even actively trying to see these things. If you just allow yourself to sit and listen, a ton of stuff comes up. So everyone, just allow yourself to listen for a second. Allow yourself to take a deep breath in and sit comfortably. And I'm going to kind of guide you through some stuff. And I'm going to go in and out at first with some talks and then a little demonstration. But we're going to expand our meditation tonight. So I'm just going to offer you to just listen for a second to whatever wants to be heard. Sometimes you might notice a sound outside of you. Sometimes you might notice a fear. Sometimes you might notice hope. Sometimes you might notice possibility. Sometimes you might notice just an energy of stuckness, whatever. And we just listen to it. And you take a deep breath in, and we're letting it be there. It's not coming up so that we do something about it. It's not coming up so that we fix it. It's not coming up so that we go to an addiction. It's coming up because it's being seen. And if you allow yourself to just let it do its thing, you start to be a space of love for it. You start to be a space of healing. All you need to do is see what's under it. You don't have anything to do. Your doing is a response to something that's unseen. But if you see what's unseen, it's going to break apart. Do you notice the villain in every movie at the end loses its power when it's seen? Like every Scooby-Doo ending. Now let's see who they really are. And he pulled the mask off. Old Man Withers? I would have done it if it weren't for you kids. I needed to not be seen to pull the shit off. All of your fear was an illusion. It was your neighbor, Old Man Withers, with a shitty mask. The shitty mask made you think I was scarier. All of our fear is just the concept of not knowing where it really comes from. Like I could put a piece of gold in a box and I could lock the box up and we don't look in the box for 40 years. If new people showed up and like, I haven't opened this box in 30 years, every one of us would be horrified, but it's a piece of gold, right? And you're just walking, what's in the box? I don't know. Now your mind anticipates what's in the box. All of our fear is false anticipation of something that's going to be worse than it actually is. When you actually see the truth of the thing, there's very little wrong. In fact, all of our pain in the future is how unseen it is. Do you get what I mean by that? In other words, when we look into our future, we have these concepts of what will happen, and then we bring up, I don't fully know all the way of what it looks like, and because I don't see it in its fullness, I'm really scared. You can see what's here now in this moment fully. In this moment, you're here. You very rarely have that much pain here. And when you have the pain, you have this awareness that it's transcending. But I can't tell you how many clients I work with that when they get here, they go, okay, well, I have a question. When I get off with you, I'm going to go into pain again. And I said, well, wait a minute. Are you in pain now? And they said, no. And I go, why are we trying to find it? Why are we trying to create pain? There's no pain here now. And then sometimes they'll talk to me and there'll be pain for a second and we just are there with it. And the more we're there with it, the more it passes. But it's very easy for people to go, okay, that's great, but what about here? Because over here in the future, that's the box that I haven't looked inside of. And I believe it's worse than what's in there. And your future is a giant box of magic that you haven't looked in. And because you haven't seen fully all the aspects of what it will be, it scares you. But if we could look into our future, we'd pull the mask off and open the box and go, Old Man Withers! And it's like bar of gold. I would have gotten it if it weren't. What fear needs is your illusion that it's scary. That's it. Your illusion that it's scary is what creates fear. Think of how much in the moment, very rarely is there actually a scary thing. We might have had a few in our lives scary moments, maybe real moments, but in those moments you knew what to do. Like if you're driving and you turn your head and you turn back and the car in front of you is stopped, and you have this moment where your body knows what to do, so you slam on the brakes. But if you could anticipate that coming from the night before, you'd freak yourself out because you don't know what it'll look like. So one thing to take in is in most cases, your body will instinctually know what to do. I about lost it when one time I was in a relationship like 6 years ago and the earth shook. Now, I've always anticipated that if there's an earthquake, I'm going to run into some doorway and cry and get under a desk. I'm going to run into my old high school and get under a desk because that's what I was taught to do. And this woman I was dating and I were in bed. She was my girlfriend at the time, and we woke up to the earth shaking. And just, I got right on top of her. I said, it's going to be fine, babe. And then I was like, who the hell's that guy? I'm scared of bees. But that moment, I just stopped everything. My instinct knew what to actually do. It's like, we had to spend, the poor girl had to spend all day hearing me talk about what a hero I was that morning. Like, we're just like, can you believe that? Who was that? But what I learned is in most life or death situations, you actually have a thing that kicks in. So fear is actually quite a waste of time because all it is the illusion that something's wrong. Now, why meditation can be so powerful, aside from so many other reasons, is that it starts to show you the things that are the boxes inside of your body that you haven't looked in. And it goes, oh, you're creating a capacity to see in here. because you're present enough, because you've accessed enough help from the universe, I'm going to reveal a thing. And it's not scary when you actually see it. Your anticipation of what it will be could be scary, but you actually seeing it is like, oh, hey, that memory from my childhood. Hey, and then you just are fine with it. And for the first time, that memory isn't trapped inside of a box. It's allowed to be out. So your emotions can be released. You get more and more and more here. And the more here you are, the more the scary parts of your life, it's not that they go away, but they get quieter. It's almost like you have a mixing board when you have the loud voice of fear. You meditate a while and it's just turning the volume down on the fear and turning up the volume of here. Turn down the fear, turn up the here. That's what meditation is. And you can't get out of this is what that is. And you can't fake it. You know how many times it's easy to go into a meditation and be like, I know it'll happen. It's good. Okay, your mind is running it. You can't get out of it. Like a lot of people go, yeah, I get meditation, so I don't need to do it. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's like saying I get the gym, so I don't need to work out. We still have to do it. And the fear is still there. You can hear the voice even say, what if, what if, what if? But it's smaller and it's quieter. And then you start accessing this kind of really amazing gray area. This is, I'm using demonstration. I had my beard grayed so I could say gray area. If you want to see my black and white content, watch me 10 years ago. But you get this gray area. Your mind, your small mind wants to see specifics. Do you get what I mean by that? Your small mind wants to see, what will we get out of this? And it's only looking through this teeny, stupid funnel, right? And it's very small. But there's a lot of changes that are happening outside of what your mind can see, right? So when you meditate long enough, you have to start understanding there are changes happening that I'm not seeing, that I'm not understanding. When I'm meditating and I'm listening to silence, the mind that needs to measure everything and get all these stupid small results gets to relax, and you start to open up in that so many things are happening, but you don't know all the specifics. And you start to move in this grayer area where you're okay with not knowing, so you make room for all kinds of other things to happen. So when you're meditating, you lose the small lens and it opens up and it kind of parts itself. And you start to see through the patterns. I had someone the other day, they were like, I feel this one pattern and it makes me feel addicted to this. And I go, okay, so you can see that when you go to this pattern, it immediately kicks in this addiction. They're like, whoa, I didn't even see that. But when you meditate long enough, it parts the patterns and it parts the response to the patterns. And you start to see things more one at a time versus as this giant, long, what do I do clump, right? And you start to really understand that there's this you that's right here. And this you is holding space for these energies. And these energies don't need to be one giant clump. And your inability to see what they really are about causes you to live in fear because you're not seeing the depth of what's in there. So the more we meditate, the more we're here, the more we allow ourselves to, it's okay, I'm going to bed and I'm not going to check and go through, a bunch of online shit. I'm going to sit for a couple hours and listen to silence, and give yourself like a couple hours and watch as your mind tries to stop that. It goes, a couple hours? That's crazy. Dude, it starts the voice like, that's crazy, and then it's like, that's crazy, and then possibility, and then here, and then less ambition and motivation and more presence, and less I have to achieve and more presence, right? Christina says, what if your house is never silent? Then you're being called to learn to be present in those moments, right? So if you have a child that's always around you and screaming, look at me, look at me, look at me, that could be a possibility that you're here to be, okay, I'm meditating now. This is taking away from my belief that silence is my home. What meditation is doing is it's here to take you to, you are your home. So if you're going, the only way I can meditate is if I get everything set up and I get into the silent room and I have the right pillow and I say Om and my hands are like this, then you're saying that that's my God. I can't do it unless I have a situation, because then those things become the God. You are what's amazing. So let's say now you're present and your kids are screaming and you're trying to, and there's a part of us that at times, yes, it would be nice to get away, go be in a quiet room. But what if you're like, actually, my connection to my heart in this moment is all I need? Because here's where your pain is. Your kid screams, and then you go, oh, it's going to be like this all day. And you go to the future and you create fear, right? But if you're just like, kids screaming, it's interrupting my expectation. Your kids not only love meditation, Kelsey probably knows this, but they change around the meditation. If my daughter is acting up, I go, oh, I haven't meditated. And then when I meditate, she gets calm. Every time. Every time. I can't tell you how much my clients match the zone that I'm in. If I meditate a couple hours and get on, I go onto the screen, and people that are my clients can vouch for this. They'll be like, I feel really good. I'm like, of course, because I do. And vice versa. You feel good, so you got me in the pocket. We're mirroring each other, right? And so that's what's going on, is that you'll start to see the world mirrors your meditation. You're in a calm meditative state. Your kids will be too. Your spouse, and your spouse might be in this crazy active state, but because you're not reactive to it, they might calm down also, because you're sitting there holding the space of truth, of love on the other side of them, right? So everyone take a deep breath in, and let's start with just a few minutes, right? And I want you to notice all the ambition, all the possibilities, all the whatever, and just let them come up. There's a common question I hear when people meditate where they go, what do I do about? The answer is nothing, because everything you have is passing. What do I do about the fact that, okay, what's coming up for me is, cool, let it come up. Just let it come up. You don't need to identify it too much. If it wants you to identify it, it will identify it. And you're just sitting here being. And instead of us anticipating this crazy future, whether it's scary or exciting, it's not nearly as powerful as you in this moment, and you will discover that the future will actually merge around you versus you needing to cater yourself to the future. Do you see the difference? Oh, my future's this. I better meditate to get this good. Okay, now I'm a victim to the future. But what if your future is also a victim to you? What if your future will curve around what you become? The anxiety before the meditation. What is that? That's the fact that you're creating a consciousness and a light that's so big that the shit that was hiding in your body is being exposed. So it starts to act out, right? So if you're anxious and you're feeling anxiety, that's because the lies that you've been sitting on are getting the masks taken off of them. Your body's like, I would have done it if it weren't for you kids. I would have known. Anxiety, because it's like trying so hard to stay hidden. So anxiety is a pattern that you've been able to live in without knowing it, starting to be exposed and fall apart. And 2020 is about that. It's about all of us just letting things be a little messy and not need to look so perfect. Letting us be okay with parts of us, bleh, like just let that fall out, right? And it falls out on its own. You can't push it out. You can't get it out. You just see it. And then when you see it, it goes, also this, and also this. And then it'll be like, and also balloons over here for some reason, and then also clouds. And I'm widening your stance to see more things at the same time. One thing I hear a lot is people that are meditating say, I'm noticing I'm feeling excited and depressed and scared. And wow, you've created a space that can feel multiple emotions simultaneously. So you're not looking through the tunnel of one emotion now. You're here. So everyone take a deep breath and release it. And close your eyes and allow yourself to just listen for a second. Just listen and feel with your whole body. And we're just going to do a few minutes first, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to go into a longer one. And I'll kind of guide it a little bit here and there. And I want to offer you also to bring in the word receiving. What are you receiving right now that you don't know the specifics about? Can you just answer that with the body? Are you receiving? Like when your iPhone is upgrading, you don't know the specifics of what's happening, but you know it's upgrading. Can you do that with you? I know when I'm meditating that I'm upgrading. I don't know all the specifics, but that's fine. Like you're not breaking your iPhone open and looking inside and going, okay, that. But a ton of things are upgrading in you that you don't understand. So take another deep breath in, release it. And you're just upgrading here. Allow every, I don't know what's going on, I don't get this, yeah, but it feels trapped. Allow every one of those to just exist. No matter what's there, it'll often feel like it's stuck or it's not working, but I promise you, no matter what you're experiencing, is passing. And I want to offer you to pay attention with your whole body, not just your mind. Can you make your whole body be the brain, like you're an antenna? Like actually think from your stomach and your legs. It might sound weird, but you can. Like just pay attention to sensations in your body, not just the mind. You can be connected to all of it at the same time. Even the space outside your body. Like pay attention to that too. No matter what you're feeling, it's passing. Just pay attention to only what's happening now. Your heart's beating. There might be air touching your neck. You're breathing in and out. Maybe there's a fan on in your house that you can hear. These are just the now things. You feel that your body is upgrading like an iPhone upgrade and you don't know the specifics. You don't know what the new software will look like. You don't know any of the specifics, but you just understand that it's upgrading. Even if it feels like it's not, it is. Let the moments of confusion just be there. Only an old structure could be confused. And let there be room for everything that comes up. You might be feeling a wall in your body, or trauma, or anxiety. Allow yourself to just only know that you're here right now and make it okay. These patterns just need it to be okay. Like, would you receive me? I feel unseen. These patterns that are like, I don't feel loved. Could you stop chasing love when I tell you that and love me? I don't feel seen. Whatever is there, just let it be there. Like, let this energy experience what it wants to experience, and you just stay present. here more than motivation. Here more than what do I do? If you hear the question, what do I do with that? Don't answer it. Let any question come up and don't answer it. Maybe you can feel the volume going down 1% of the voices, and the loudness of the now and the fan and the breathing go up 1%. This makes you receptive to a higher, more here frequency of possibilities, because you're purging the old story that kept you contained within a small circle that said you can only achieve from here, you can only be healthy from here, you can only be loved in this small circle. That pattern is what's going down, and you're able to receive and give bigger. You're able to access something that's bigger as the volume goes up on the here-ness of now, infinite possibility. And if you feel some pain in your stomach, let it be there. Just breathe love into it. Breathe thank you into it. That's a pattern that has been avoided. That pain in your stomach is a pattern that's been ignored. Breathe love into it. If you're feeling stuck at all, ask the universe out loud to help me, to help you, to help me. Say, universe, help me with this. And allow yourself to receive an energy that's higher than you're used to letting in. Universe, help me with this. Open your heart. Something bigger than your protective energy is going to help you. And maybe even find people who want to reach into your heart too. Universe, help me with this pain in my body. And just sit back and let it do surgery on you. Let it give to you. And let it bring up whatever darkness it needs to purge. The more dark you can see, the more light you can receive. Just feel the energy that's beating your heart. You might notice that energy is also outside of your body. Can you notice how you can observe from outside and inside? You're not quite contained within the third density body that's much more doing and fear-based. That there's a now vibration that's coming in, that's seeing your patterns. Like, think with your chest and your stomach. Feel the energy of thank you as you breathe in. And breathe out thank you. And imagine you're getting upgraded and don't know the specifics. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it will do for you. Practice that. You don't need to know. Everything is a possibility if you don't need to look at one possibility. All of it is. Every person you meet, everything you drive by, everything that comes up, every perceptional problem is all part of it. Be inclusive of everything. Everything you're resisting needs to be seen. Every person in your life you're resisting. You don't have to agree with them, but you sure can hold space to have compassion for why someone believes something, or why someone feels a certain way. Whether you can do that with every person on the planet. Widening your awareness. It's almost like you're looking from a 360 angle now. Become a receptive space for it to open the boxes. You'll be like, oh, I'm scared to look in there. Oh, it's gold. Oh, I'm scared to look in there. Oh, it's more gold. It's all you're going to find. Here. This is a raised frequency here. Fully experiencing here. You don't need to get anywhere else. Every time you try to get somewhere else, here has to fight to be seen. Just let yourself experience all of yourself in this moment. Notice if the volume of the now is a little bit louder, even if it's like 5% louder, and the voice of fear is 5% quieter. Even if it sounds like it's louder, it might be falling off of you and you can feel with more of your body. Receiving your upgrade. Your iPhone is getting upgraded. This is direct communication with God, direct communication with the universe or your intuition, whatever you want to call it. Directly talking to the now. Not through me, not through another speaker, not through you did the right thing, not through you achieved something. Just direct connection to actual unconditional love. Let's receive it a couple minutes. you feel stuck, the closer you are to a breakthrough. Sometimes it'll feel like, God, it's going to be years before I'm over this thing, and it turns out it's 10 seconds. It's a matter of learning to accept and connecting to more of the universe. And if you need help, ask the universe for help. Universe, help me with this moment, please. Help me with this. Help me to accept this. Help me to forgive this. This is receiving right now. Meditation's receiving and giving at the same time. Because you're getting an upgrade and you're receiving a higher version of you, but you're also creating insane change in the world. And notice as you just feel the old energies get louder or want to fall off because they're old. They're heavy, thick energies. We want to release the matter, the heavy matter, as Joe Dispenza talks about, and replace it with energy. You can't change matter with matter, he says, but you can change matter with energy. You're moving to a state of energy. You're the universe's child too, not just your dad's from the past. Like, deep breaths to keep you present too in this moment. I'm going to dare you to stay in this. There's so much change, like a few minutes away. And then we move as if we have to see the change for us to do anything. Aren't you tired of needing a guarantee before you do everything? Like, go into the world without the guarantee. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just am. I'll learn why as I do it. Now, what do I get out of this? Now, just feel thank you as you breathe in. Release, thank you. You're not Facebook's kid, you're the universe's kid. You're not the news's kid. You're the now's child. You're a child of this moment. This is your parents too. This space, this open space. Become vague about what you're getting out of this. Be open to a ton of stuff you don't know. I don't know what I'm getting out of this, but I know that I am. Be there for the patterns that show up and say, yeah, but, or what about money later, or he doesn't know my story, or what comes up for me is this. Like, let it just do its thing. This universe is going to break it up and spit it out if you let it. You're doing worldwide work. You're doing this for your kids. You're doing this for other kids if you don't have kids. You're doing this for the world. You're going to see the world change around you, I promise. Here, Not a voice that goes, I got to get there in a minute. Here. You're just a bed for these old stories to fall onto. Undo the anticipation of later. Just here. Bringing light to every part of your body, every energy that's there, that's being seen, stuck. Even if you feel stuck and you can't release something, that's okay. Don't try to force it. Don't try to let anything go. Just be and see if it purges itself when you stop trying to let it go. Take the pressure off of yourself. In this world that you're moving into, there's no more pressure trying to get somewhere so your parents are happy. Just be here and connect to here. It will give you the world. That you're receiving a higher level of abundance right now. So this changes all of the things. The longer you do this, this changes health, this changes income. It does. It changes these things. I mean, it has to be. You're releasing stress. You're releasing a little bit of fight or flight and replacing it with now. Fill up your battery. This is the highest work you could do on the planet. It's bigger than starting your new company. Still do that, but do this first. Take your soul to the gym. Take deep breaths too to remind yourself that you're the body in this moment, not the pattern. Bringing present energy to the body, to the pattern. Bring in the concept that all of this is temporary and make that okay. That's a hard thing for people. And one of the reasons we achieve is because we're scared to lose things that we will eventually lose. And if we own that loss is a part of life, we will appreciate it so much more. I get this day with you right now. We get to do this call. We won't get to do them forever. One day I won't even exist on this planet. That's what makes this so special. You get this moment right now. That person that you're trying to be with forever, just take in that's not a thing so you can really enjoy them today or tomorrow. That's a concept people don't like to hear, but that doesn't mean it's not true. This whole thing is temporary. That's why, as my friend Glenn Morshower says, that's why it's so beautiful. That's why it's so incredible. This whole thing is temporary. So enjoy this moment. Live every day like it's your last day. You wouldn't be in this long-term achieving plan so that you don't lose everything. You'd be here. You'd be like, God, I get to see this person another day. Because at one point when we lose certain people in our life, we'll go, I can't believe we were arguing about that thing. I miss them so much. I can't believe I cared about that thing. It never matters after they die. And we move as if we have forever, and that's part of the reason why we never enjoy it. Take in that it's temporary. Take in that I won't be a memory one day. Like, I'll be a memory, and then I won't be a memory. I'll just be something in the sky or cloud, or I don't even know. What a beautiful thing to just take in. That's sad and happy. I get this moment with you. You get this moment with whoever you're here with. We get this moment, this moment, this moment. Mary fasts, bringing up some tears. Someone amazing on my team, my incredible team, Andrea, Brian, Lindsay, Joey. We get to be doing this moment, and we have each other today. And let's move like we have each other today. Not what do we do in 5 years from, like, what do we have now? I have you now. I get to talk to you now. I was in a meditation once and I felt my mom come up in the meditation and I heard her laugh for a second and then I felt it go away. And I was like, ooh, I felt like I just let go of an avatar of my mom in my chest a little bit because now I can't hear her laugh as clearly. And that was like, one day my mom, I won't even be able to, I mean, maybe when I'm not alive, but she won't be a memory. God, does that make me feel close to my daughter? I get this moment with you. We get to experience life, not achieve as much as possible, unless that's the experience you want. But it's not getting as much stuff, it's experiencing this moment. Only we can have the luxury of worrying about what the fall of 2020 is going to be because we're so spoiled by how little we know about this moment. What if everything goes bad? Well, it should because we aren't enjoying now. It's the exact mirror of how much we're ignoring the magic of the now. We expect things from each other. You better be with me forever versus I want to enjoy you now. Maybe you'll accidentally be with them a lot longer if we want to just enjoy the now with them. I just have this moment with you. You have this moment. I don't even mean tomorrow necessarily. I mean, if it was your last hour with the people in your life, what would you do? That's how we got to live. How would you live if tomorrow were your last day? What would you want to experience? Who would you want to talk to? Who would you forgive? Who would you call? Everyone take another deep breath. You notice that if you're okay with being in this moment, the only thing you have is gratitude. Now, let's just get this moment with you. Thank you for this moment. So let's do a meditation and now just breathe in a thank you in this meditation. So take a deep breath and just receive thank you from the universe. And breathe out a thank you to the universe. Breathe in another thank you from the universe. Breathe past your lungs. Feel it going into your stomach, into your legs. Breathe in. Now breathe out a surrendered thank you to the universe. Now let yourself fall into yourself. Fall into a frequency that just is so here. Breathe in another thank you, a big breath thank you. And breathe out that thank you. Hear the power of that little little sound that you hear in the room, the fan, or that little high-pitched voice in the back of your head. Love it. Breathe in a fourth thank you. Release it. Breathe in another one. Just thank you. And release it. Notice your here-ness. Notice your freedom combined with your pain, maybe. You get to feel that pain, that stuckness. Feel another thank you. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. And even if this feels painful, you might still notice you feel more open. Just see yourself reaching to the universe, past your pattern. Like, it wants to heal you. It's all it wants to do. It's just waiting for you to open to it. It's always here. We're rarely here for it. It's here 24 hours a day, but we rarely aim at it. We rarely pay attention to it. We pay way more attention to politics and social media than it. Breathe in a thank you from your body for you doing this work. Breathe in a thank you. Now breathe out a thank you to your body. And think of all the things your body has done for you and not wanted anything in return. How many sounds did you get to hear, or sights did you get to see, or feelings or touch or connection or emotions that your body just gives you and doesn't ask for anything in return? And then we just drink like soda and stress and alcohol and bad food and just beat it up, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna work through it. Give it something healthy tonight, right? Give it something light. Or tomorrow, say, it's me and you, body, going on a date, not me and Margarita Sally. You don't want to go out with Margarita Sally anymore. You're gonna go out with your body. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm going to bring love into what I eat. I'm going to drink way more water. I'm going to reverse my aging by just completely taking care of myself. I'm going to go for a walk tomorrow. I'm going to get oxygen. Breathe in another thank you from the body. And breathe out a thank you to the body. Notice your here-ness. Let yourself feel your inner child. Just get into a fetal position and rest in your chest or in your stomach. Just that they're okay. They're seen by you right now. Nowhere to get to. Let yourself surrender into this moment. In a second, I'm going to get off the call and I'm going to dare you to not just grab the phone, not just go, that was a good thing, now back to my real life. And I want to dare you to consider making this more your base point. Like instead of, as Michael Beckwith says, instead of shoving meditation into our busy life, we revolve our life around our meditation. So I'm going to dare you after this call is done to see if you can go another chunk of time. Maybe you want to go 10 minutes, maybe you want to go an hour, maybe you want to go 2 hours. Meditation is something we often don't want to do, and then when we do it, we go, I'm so glad I did it. You have to start to remember you'll always be happy you did it, and very rarely will we want to do it. Same with working out. They have this energy of like, I don't want to, and then you do it, and you're like, I'm so glad I did it. We want to start you teaching yourself, I'm so glad I did it, I'm so glad I did it, so that eventually it becomes, I can't wait to do it. I promise you, you go a certain amount of days, giving yourself a good hour a day, 2 hours a day, and notice life is way easier and better and freer, and your problem solving skills are quicker, and your ability to receive and your confidence and everything changes. And you go, wow, this has to be a mandatory part of my life. So in a second, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you. I'm going to dare you just to try something. This is what really makes the people that stand out above the rest. For you to self-guide yourself and go, right when I get off and we click off, that you close your laptop and you listen for another chunk of time. That you do more with this. That you go, I don't have to just do the one Kyle call and then back to hectic chaos. Your life can be really good if you make health and meditation and exercise and self-care first and bring that into the rest. You won't believe how many things you start to say no to for also. You'd be like, I'd love to work, but I got to meditate longer. And then you go to a higher thing and then weird magic happens that pay you more than the work would have. Big things want to show up in your life, but we got to be receptive of it. Really insane things are trying to show up in your life. Are you receptive of it? Are you receptive of it? Are you on the channel that can receive it? Are you receptive of a higher level of love? Are you receptive of a higher level of abundance and health? Are you receptive of it? Are you willing to go to the channel that you need to be at to earn it? That's what we're here to do in 2020. Shift to a place where our connection goes from the chaos of the outside to the inside, and we watch the outside match it. Not only will it match it in your personal life, you will start to see it be matched everywhere. You'll be like, the government just passed a law that's exactly what I was hoping for, or the news is changing their structure and saying this new thing. Like, everything's going to change. We just have to be receptive of it. How good could life get with you fully connected to you connected to the universe, you connected to your higher self? So everyone take another deep breath in and release it, and feel a huge thank you from me for completely changing the consciousness of the planet. We all can benefit from more people doing this. And I'll dare you to give yourself this guidance frequently, maybe even reserve it. You know, when we get a job, we will cancel everything to do the job, right? Like, people will come into our lives and, hey, do you want to hang out? I will after work. I want you to make you connecting to yourself as much of a priority as you would your work. Thank you.